The Industrial Training Fund, ITF, was established almost half a century ago with the statutory responsibility of manpower training and development. Nigeria was in need of a skilled indigenous workforce. ITF was therefore given a specific mandate to provide and promote the acquisition of skills that would support the growth of industry and commerce and set Nigeria on the path of technological independence.
From the outset, the ITF was mindful of the caliber and quality of human resource that had to be engaged to drive the process of training in line with the fund's mandate.
The major activity we carried out in our early years was the collection of training contributions from employers. This policy compelled employers to train workers because those who complied received payments of training reimbursement.
To complement the efforts of employers towards improving their staff training, ITF developed its first training policy to build its own capacity.
Most of the 70s was therefore a period of self-development. And during those years, comprehensive staff development programs and direct training courses were introduced, which prepared and positioned ITF at the forefront of industrial skills training. Thereafter, the ITF was directly involved in the delivery of training and consultancy services to employers of labor.
In the course of our work, we discovered that the widest skill gap that existed was in the area of vocational and technical skills. Part of the problem was that tertiary institutions were unable to meet the intermediate skill manpower requirements of the economy because the institutions were few and they also didn't provide students with adequate practical experience.
It was during this time that there was an emphasis on both implant and apprenticeship training programs. This is also when ITF initiated Students' Industrial Work Experience Scheme. Straight away, employers recognized CWIS as a timely development because it effectively closed the gap between theoretical knowledge and practical experience.
And by the 80s, the country was experiencing significant economic changes. Investments were flowing into different aspects of the economy from the public and private sectors. Manufacturing was taking root, and more industries were springing up across the country. This created a shortage of manpower given the diversity of critical skills that were being sought after by employers.
In response to these events, ITF instituted a series of structural reorganizations. We expanded the scope of our operations from a few area offices we had at the end of the 80s to a broader footprint that now spans 37 locations. We also set up skills training centers in Lagos, Kano, and Jos.
As we were expanding, our professional outlook also evolved into one that was multidisciplinary and multi-sectorial. In both the public and private sectors, we began training workers not only in technical vocational skills, but also in specialized soft skills, including public administration, project planning, business management, marketing, finance, and such.
At this point, an internal mechanism was necessary to create and restructure our departments and operations whenever we needed to.
At first, the process was rudimentary, but today we run data from different units through a computerized-based management information system, which allows us to organize, evaluate, and efficiently manage all our departments. This flexibility is now part of our DNA and has remained a constant feature of our evolution as an organization.
The impact of our work as an agency was already being felt across the industrial landscape, but staying at the top of our game required us to continually seek contemporary approaches to actualize our mandate.
Since our founding years, we regularly examine and analyze trends in manpower development in order to apply state-of-the-art technology, training techniques, and application of best practices for human resource development.
NECA, as the business membership organization in Nigeria, is the biggest stakeholder of the Industrial Training Fund. And through our partnership with the ITF, and I'm talking about the Technical and Vocational Skill Development Program, we've been able to identify idle capacities in private sector enterprises, which have been used to inculcate and impart skills in Nigerian youths so that we can reduce unemployment in this environment. And that has been our biggest achievement working with ITF in the past 10 years. Through that also, we've been able to review the curricula of ITF ISTC centers and also tap into international expertise to boost the quality of technical skills that are coming out from the ISTC centers, which are owned by the ITF.
Over the years, we forged and still maintain similar bilateral technical relationships and collaborative engagements with several national and international organizations. These partnerships have helped us improve our processes, productivity, and capacity in very profound ways. As a result, we are now better able to handle our operations and deliver our services more effectively.
Once we began interfacing with international collaborators, we had to aim for global best practices. That is why over the years, staff of the fund have attended numerous training and retraining courses at prestigious international institutions.
The Model Skills Training Center, MSTC, is the vocational arm of the Industrial Training Fund, which was established in 2008 with the assistance of the Institute of Technical Education Services, Singapore. MSTC is a world-class skills training institute. Our state-of-the-art equipment is housed in a modern facility, while our skills training programs, which have been approved by the National Board for Technical Education, are targeted at the needs of industries, not only in Nigeria, but around the world. MSTC's objective is to train young Nigerians, whether they be school leavers, graduates of tertiary institutions, and industry workers with the relevant skills that will give them a competitive edge and make them employable globally.
In the same vein, the ITF is equipping thousands of Nigerian youths between the ages of 18 and 35 with employable skills through the 3-month National Industrial Skills Development Program.
To ensure we cover more ground, we've introduced mobile units to take our training packages to Nigerians residing in remote locations. Now we are able to reach more Nigerians than we were ever able to.
Given that 21% of women within the labor force are unemployed, we saw the need to develop a training program specifically for women. This effort gave birth to the Women's Skills Empowerment Program, which is also known as WOSEP, initiated in 2017. The main objective of WOSEP is to equip vulnerable and unemployed women with life skills in dominant trades, which they can either use to set up, run their own business, or even secure gainful employment.
To successfully implement these programs, we have made a series of improvements to our training delivery systems, especially in the area of ICT. We have integrated our information management system and our data bank for easy access to real-time data and information for quick decision making. We have also linked up our area offices using modern ICT tools. This has eliminated the limitations created by geographical space, allowing us to monitor and evaluate our operations nationwide, online and real time.
We've also introduced some convenience to the payment of training contributions, which can now be made through ITF's online pay portal.
Our performance as a corporate entity hinges on the strategic investment we have made to improve our system and people. These investments, which have been capital intensive, cover everything from the building and maintenance of skills training centers, area offices, and other assets around the country, to procuring the equipment and technology required to effectively run these centers. It also includes the regular training and retraining of our personnel, improving our research and development capability, and ensuring that funds are available for effective management of these training programs, like the SOES and the NISDP.
There is no denying the fact that ITF's programs and interventions have had a resounding impact on our nation's economy, because a strong economy does not exist without a highly qualified workforce. And we have been at the center of providing a qualified workforce for the nation.
SOES has improved the prospects of employability of over 3 million graduates of tertiary institutions in Nigeria.
NISDP has trained and equipped over 100,000 Nigerian youth from the 36 states of the Federation, including the FCT, in over 30 trades and crafts, with 90% of the beneficiaries having sustainable livelihoods, either as entrepreneurs or even as employers of labor.
$500 MSME in each state of the Federation have been trained through the MSME Clinic, for which ITF received a Star Partner Award from the Office of the Vice President.
Training contributions have engendered a culture of skills training in hundreds of industrial and commercial enterprises around the country.
As ITF journeys into its 5th decade, we do so with a renewed commitment in pursuit of our vision to be the foremost human resource development organization in Nigeria. Our renewed vision is focused on helping the government actualize its economic diversification agenda, which is anchored on the provision of skills, entrepreneurial development, and revival of agriculture.
In the next 4 years, the ITF is set to build and commission 3 more industrial skills training centers in Gombe, Abia, and Kogi states. This will bring the number of ITF industrial skills training centers to 7. We also plan to establish a special training center for oil and gas in Port Harcourt to equip Nigerians with skills in underwater welding, instrumentation, and electronics.
We recently partnered with Niger Mills Calabar to organize a youth capacity development training and empowerment program to avail young people the social skills they need to become productive members of the society. We are also set to partner with the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants, and Internally Displaced Persons to equip returning migrants with life skills for sustainable livelihood. Because we believe that if vulnerable citizens are gainfully employed, then mass migration will be discouraged.
Developing Nigeria's human resource is a venture that we will strive to continue with much hope and a collective sense of purpose, in the knowledge that our highest reward will be to finally actualize our mandate and achieve our founders' vision of an industrialized nation.